Okay. I'll be responding to a claim that was meat industries are harmful to the environment. My opponent's secondary claims were the meat industry is one of the biggest contributors to the rise of global warming. Second was due to harsh chemicals that are being used in these industries, there is an increase in air and water pollution. The industrial agriculture use, third one was, the industrial agriculture use too much of the Earth's natural resources. Here's how I responded. My main claim is cutting back on eating meat is an ineffective way to deal with global warming. Okay. True, production of meat has one of the biggest contributions to the global warming today, but meat is one of the most essential part of a human being's health. There are thousands of other things that we can stop that are less important to us, which emit to the mean temperature of our planet. Avoiding meat in your diet is almost like you're taking away the building blocks of your body. Meat provides us with some of the best source of protein. If we do choose to avoid meat, then there should be an alternative way to achieve the same benefits we get from it. How harmful can those alternatives be to the environment? I have two responsive secondary claims. The first one is alternatives for meat are just as or more harmful to the environment. The second one is avoiding meat can lead to neglecting important needs to your health. Okay. The first one, if eating meat is bad for the environment, then what about eating vegetables? The United States Department of Agriculture reported that due to the economy being low, farmers are now competing with each other and resulting to use of pesticides, fertilizers, and weed killers to ensure that they get the maximum yield for their crop. Just to show how much is being used by farmers, they spend over $400 million a year on pesticides. According to chemtalks.com, common pesticides used in farms are now being shown in medical research to accelerate aging of the immune and nervous system, resulting in serious health problems years after exposure. Large quantities of chemicals being sprayed onto the crop fields lead to a decrease in the air quality, as with other types of environmental harm, like eutrophication, which is when chemicals run into nearby lakes, streams, and ponds and contaminate and destroy natural ecosystems within the habitat. When they are sprayed, they usually drift away from the crop field, so that resulting in more having been sprayed to compensate for the amount that was lost, which also causes harm to us humans because we would digest these chemicals into our systems, which has the potential to make us ill. Another way farming of vegetables and crops add to global warming is, according to theguardian.com, 5 out of 10 wildfires were either 3 miles from or on a field where vegetables were being agricultured. Environmentalmentalgraffiti.com says wildfires emit 8 million tons of CO2 each season just in the U.S. alone. Air quality is damaged by the smoke from the wildfires or by destroying agricultural waste. What about some of the Earth's natural resources being taken up by the agriculture? Mass production of crops requires a substantial amount of water. According to waterland.com, it will take 30% of the whole Earth's water to produce vegetables, rice, and fruits by 2050. These statistics are given when 40 countries worldwide are suffering from water droughts. Alright, my second claim is avoiding meat can lead to neglecting important needs for your health. In a research done by the BMJ journals, there are many health benefits to eating meat. For example, red meat contains high quantities of iron. In 100 grams of liver, there is 6,000 milligrams of iron, compared to a 325 milligram of iron, which contains 100 grams. 325 milligrams of iron in 100 grams of carrot. Iron is useful in preventing conditions such as anemia, as it helps to regenerate the red blood cells. Not eating meat as part of your everyday diet, according to independent.co, could lead to zinc deficiencies, especially in children. Zinc is important for healthy skin and also helps your immune system. Lack of zinc could result in people being more susceptible to colds and flu, such as the swine flu. Many health experts like Dr. Michelle with the Baylor Healthcare System says that humans are actually natural meat eaters, and that eliminating such an important food group from our diet could be detrimental to your health. Medical theorists have suggested that our gut contains bacteria that helps us digest meat, and not utilizing them would result in them being inactive and allow an increased amount of diseases to be present in our system. There are many other useful things we can avoid or stop doing before we can stop eating one of the most important foods our body needs. Meat can help prevent diseases, help you lose weight, keep your overall body strong. If we avoid the salad and pick a sirloin steak, we're contributing just as much to the global warming and eating up the natural resources as we would with that salad. This is why I think avoiding meat is an ineffective way to deal with global warming.
All right, you've ID'd the main and secondary claims pretty clearly. You are having to read quite a bit, and so there's not much audience contact. You've got a counterclaim that you're setting up, and I think that that's pretty clearly cited. You seem to be granting all of the advocates' claims about the impact of meat on the environment without challenging them at all. So, in essence, your counterclaim is only going to try and put it into some kind of context, diminish the importance, and show that it's not as significant, or, for instance, that it's unanswerable. There's a workability argument that I think does apply, and that's the point that you're making about how the alternative to consuming meat is just as dangerous. It's definitely dangerous to the environment in some ways based on the pesticide use that you've got there, and I think the water utilization information is also pretty solid. The wildfire claim seems to be a stretch of the imagination, though. I'm not sure the link between agricultural development and wildfires is very well established by the coincidence of location that you've presented. So I think that that's a hard one to reach the conclusion on. But the basic argument up to that point is that eating meat is not any more dangerous than doing any of the other things that we would be doing, and that argument applies to the advocate's claim. The second part of your argument is not applicable. It's not really relevant to the factual claim that the advocate's presenting. It would be very relevant if we were dealing with the policy argument. Sacrificing meat, for instance, what would be the consequences of that from a health perspective? That's a disadvantage argument, not really a response to the workability or the significance claim that the advocate has presented there. So in a policy argument it would be relevant, but I think on a claim of fact here it's not really relevant. You developed some good information supporting it, I like that, and you cited that information, but you largely grant the advocate's original claims and just try and put them into a context and diminish them to some degree. And I thought you did an okay job on that, but I'm not sure that, I didn't look at the data, so I don't know whether or not it seemed reasonable or not, but it seems to me that you don't want to put all your eggs in one basket. A few presses and challenges, and even if they have evidence, even if the evidence in general supports that, did the advocate's evidence support it? I think you could probably ask a couple questions on that, and it'll strengthen your position too. All right, thank you.